Okay, we'll now, it's about 5 minutes after 4, and I apologize for a 5-minute delay. If I can get a motion to move into open session. Second it. Okay, it's been moved and second, and all in favor?
Aye.
All right, no extensions or?
No.
None. Okay, we are now in open session for ESP contract negotiations. And just as last time, I wanted to thank everybody for their patience and then being here after school's out foremost. And we want to try to make sure we be as efficient and move on as much as possible. Dana, we had, is going to do a major discussion of the things that we want to have done, and she'll talk about it. And we'll go from there. Thanks.
We had that conversation last time that we all got together, that we thought that it would be a good idea to contemplate because of how health insurance is, doing a one-year agreement, and the board is interested in engaging in that conversation, and we've had talks about that. There are some numbers I want to put out there for you, which is currently right now overall for this year that ends June 30th, in terms of health insurance, which is at an 87-13 split. So 87% of the premium is paid for by the SU and 13% is paid for by the employee. For your bargaining unit, most of your employees are on the employee-only plan. I put that out there. But the overall cost to all of the districts, so I'm not breaking it out per district, right now for the year that we're in, was $1,293,600.13, and that is what just the employer is paying for the with the 7.9% increase in the health insurance, which begins as of the July 1st for the new fiscal year. The overall employer contribution would be $1,395,794.54, which in dollars is an annual increase of $102,194.41 from the employer's perspective. And the reason why I'm starting off with that number, which is, I think the first number we do need to talk about is because that is the number when we talk about doing a status quo on your health insurance that we know that the employer is going to, in fact, take. The employees clearly are also going to be bearing their share of the 7.9% increase within their plans as well. But that's a number that when we talk about that, doing a status quo, $102,194.41 is already budgetarily taken out of what we would consider the overall pot of money to be looking at in terms of what is available for other benefits, such as doing your salary increase. I don't know, you all started off with doing, correct me if I'm wrong, Norm, your original proposal was at 3.5%?
Yes, plus step.
Plus, plus step as well. I don't know if that's still where you all are considering to be with your proposal or not, as well as with your keeping the status quo on the health insurance. A 3.5% increase plus step results in $179,499.40 increase from the employer to do that. So it's not insignificant from the employer. It's something that this team is curious and wondering if there is some movement from you all on that part. It's not something that the team feels that their districts can in fact absorb those two costs to do that. And at this point, you know, we had talked about some other issues that we're out there, we're dropping some, I think, work management issues that we all think on this side of the table are important ones to talk about, and putting them off for the next contract. The board is looking at the fact that doing step increase only is a cost of $31,040.19 for next year. Doing a stepping increase, so that has to be factored into any decision that we're talking about. Not all employees are eligible for a step increase, and we're aware of that. But the board is looking at, in terms of having to have some numbers, which are pretty hard and fast numbers here, looking at a 1.5% increase with step, which the total increase, you have to take out what the step is. So that would be doing it a 1.5 plus step. So those individuals who are not eligible for step would be getting a 1.5% increase. Clearly, those individuals who are at that point, based upon longevity of getting the step increase, would also get in addition to what their step, the 1.5, and additionally their step increase. We're hopeful that there can be some conversation about that from our perspective. As I said, there's some things that we've taken a huge step, this board has, from what their initial proposal was to then pare it down to these things. Clearly, when you looked at what our initial proposal was, the health insurance was a cost factor that was very concerning for the boards. We're proposing to keep the status quo, which is something that, at least for this next year, that you're all had indicated was something that was important to you, and not push for or drag this on in terms of pushing for something which we think, well, it may be slightly new, or it would be new, would help us manage that cost better. From the board's perspective, keeping the status quo in the health insurance is, quite frankly, a pretty big deal at this point, at least for this year going forward, because that is a huge cost driver for the board. I don't know if you all want to have a conversation about that. I know that there were some other residual things that the board wanted me to also put out there in terms of some of the other provisions, or if you want to respond, Norm, just to when we're looking out for the money issue, how you want to do that.
Well, in our preliminary discussion, we were talking about extending the concept we talked about last time, and that was really a three-part proposal. Number one was extending the current contract for a year, extending the current contract for a year, providing a wage increase, and then an agreement that we continue bargaining over the issues that both sides have put on the table until we reach an agreement, which we hope would also bring us into the point where we're discussing the changeover in health insurance,
Right.
Which, at least I believe, is going to require some side discussion that includes both the support staff and the teachers, because my guess is the district's going to have one arrangement, and I'm assuming not only one company but one practice. Thanks to the school district who sent me some information on salary. I just did some salary work, which I hate to leave with all these copies, so I'll give them to you.
Okay.
And then I want to just, if you could just pass those around, and I think it's right there. And pass these up. And mainly because I ran into the same complication that you did, is we have some employees The sheet I'm passing around is the current wages that the district provided. And I've projected them, so I've arrived at that total. And then I also projected what would happen if employees increased a step. The step increases on the schedule are only applied to employees on steps 0, 1, 2, and 3, and then it goes to 5, 10, 15, 20. I found that there were 143 employees that do not definitely get a step. And I was trying to project how many of them would get a step in each year. There's actually, over a 17-year period, there's 143 people that will get a step every 4-point-something years, because it's a 2-year step from 3 to 5, and then it's 5, 5, 5. So I was trying to do some estimating, but the cost of the general wage increase, the one that we can predict, I calculated at about around $16,000. You'll see it on the last page of this handout. $16,603, or about 0.39%, I'm sorry. And then I guessed that the increase of some of the staff, of the 143 would be about another 15,000. So if that was your calculation, we're fairly close on those two numbers.
The $31,040.19 for the step increase includes everyone who's eligible.
And I'm assuming you did it exactly, so you know how many of those 143 people have a step and how many don't. So fortunately, that was a pretty good guess. All the people in the dark type that I listed on the 2016-17 wage rate are people who are frozen at, some of those are going to move, but not all of them, because they are the group that are on steps 3, 5, 10, 15, 20. So anyway, that projection would seem we're fairly close on what the step cost would be. And then any across the board cost would be whatever it is. The other fact sheet that I did was just from this information of putting all this together, which I thought was interesting, the average annual wage, highest and lowest, the average wage rate for the group, number of days worked and so on, which I thought was interesting. But anyway, coming back to our proposal, we are proposing extending the contract for 1 year, a wage increase, which our proposal originally was 3.5% plus step, and then a continuation of bargaining throughout the summer, or as it is convenient for both sides, just normally as we would set up meetings and continue the bargaining over the other issues that both the sides have put on the table. I guess my question is that an agreement if we can reach an agreement on wages?
If we can reach an agreement on wages, yes. And that's why I led off explaining that how we're looking at this is that we already are saying that there's the status quo issue on the health insurance and what that cost is. We actually are very happy with the idea that you all are open to doing negotiations perhaps over the summer. I have to tell you, and not to put others in a bad light, but not everybody is, and not all bargaining units are agreeable to continuing discussions over the summertime. So we are interested in doing that. In terms of and part of that is also because there are things that, as we talked about last time, that we do see in those language proposals to you all that were not money related, that we do see as being important conversations that we need to have. I'm sorry. So insurance is at 86.14%. That's right.
Yeah.
For the employees. I misspoke and said 87.13, and they're correcting me on that.
Sorry.
Yeah, 87,
No,
13.
that's fine. It's so I do think that's, I think that's where we're at, because they are important things. One of the things that they did ask me to also bring up is that we did go back and check into the issue, one of those bigger issues we talked about in terms of people moving up, people moving down, and there have been conversations between members of this board and with the central office about how to manage those issues and deal with those issues. So we're not leaving those things on the side of the road. We're still carrying all of that baggage that we'd like to talk about. So I think that continuing the bargaining over the issues is something that this board is interested in doing. I can't disagree with you. The fact is that from an employer's perspective, that not having breakdowns of multiple insurance issues, we'd like to avoid that. How we structure having that conversation and the side conversations regarding that, I think, is something we're going to have to look into and have a conversation about that as well. But for all intents and purposes, we're saying stick with the language that's in the contract for a year. Continue to bargain, keep the health insurance breakdown the way it is, which is now 86.15.
Just changed. We just lost money.
It
was 87.
It did. It was 87. It's 86.14. And having that conversation about wages. I think
And
that's where we're at.
did you offer a proposal on wages?
1.5.
1.5 plus step?
That's in 1.5 and step, yes.
Let me caucus with, I think I understand that. And before we respond, let me chat with my former.
Okay, if we're all back, and so we just broke for a caucus. We didn't dismiss ourselves. So
No, we didn't.
We wanted to make sure that everybody know we're all back and we're back for open session. So it's sort of the logistics of a little bit lacking here. I hope I don't get paid up for it. But anyway, we're back and we're full negotiation. All right.
All right, we in a caucus, we discussed the idea of extending the contract as is with a wage increase and an agreement with continue bargaining. We had originally proposed a 3.5% plus step wage increase. We looked at the reality of the health insurance increase and the fact that there's an increase that hits both of us. And we are modifying our proposal to be from 3.5 to 2.25 with the step increase, with the other existing contract continuing as it is, and an agreement to continue bargaining over the summer or as it is convenient for the school board members. That works out to be about, it looks to me like a 29-cent increase. And of course, we have a large number of people that without an overall wage increase simply don't get anything because they don't have a step increase of any type. We're guessing that that group in 0 to 3, they will all get an increase. And then there's probably about 100 people that are either at 5, 10, 15, or 20. If they're on those numbers, they're not going to get an increase. So this would, we think, provide about 29 cents. It looks like if we were to just apply that evenly or as a percentage increase. It would work out to 2.25. And coupled with the health insurance increase that we're going to both pay, we think that that's at least a reasonable proposal to come back with you in an effort to try to resolve this and to resolve it this afternoon.
Okay.
Can we caucus?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the board appreciates the fact that there is a discussion about this, and clearly we need to have a conversation about what your proposal is. So.
We
somebody-
would need to go in. and
To
call
executive, so-
Executive session.
Right.
So I'll ask that
So
we,
moved.
Second.
second. All in favor?
All in favor?
All, the ayes have it, okay, so we're back, from caucusing, so can I have a motion to go in executive, come out of executive session?
So be it.
moved. And move in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I just want to thank you for taking the time to be out here. It took us longer than I expected, in this particular caucus. So, I'll turn the floor over to the attorney for a response.
That sounds so ominous, right? We are proposing as a counteroffer to you, to make it very clear for the record, extending the language in the contract for a year, basically. Continuing bargaining over the issues that we all brought forward, language changes and the like, including also having a conversation, health and wages, over the summer. And when I say over the summer, just to give you a heads up, the boards would be appreciative. They don't hold meetings in the month of July. They would like to stick to that as well, and contemplate in August. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do I have that correct?
Correct.
And in terms of the wage increase, our counter proposal is the 2.0 and 2.0, excuse me, and step increases for a year. It took us, as Leon indicated, we had some conversation about it, but that is, from the board's perspective, something they feel that they can absorb and do for the year in light of the health insurance program.
Thank you very much.
Increase?
No.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, and I'm leaving the health off, but leaving the health
You said
at,
extend the contract.
extend the contract, so.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna say the percentage because I keep making a mistake with the percentage actually impacted.
Just saying.
You're hoping.
As we indicated, or I indicated to you, we accept that offer.
That's great.
And I think we can force ourselves to accept the issue of not bargaining in July. We'll try. It'll be,
I know,
but,
We'll be seeing you all.
and
I know.
so if you'd like, I can draft up our tentative agreement and
And-
send it to you for you to send to the,
That sounds great,
Board?
and we can talk about that. I don't think we're gonna have a lot of argument over
No.
language issues, amazingly enough.
yeah, I don't think so.
Great.
I think, I've done a few of these this year. And do you want to go as far as to set a meeting in August? Or-
I think that would be beneficial for everyone. If you all think that you'll know what your calendar is,
We do. This
And-
is the easiest way to do it if we do it while we're here.
Except I do not have a new calendar here, so
What's that?
I'm talking to them.
Yeah,
Is it gonna snow in August?
Maybe we should like stay away from a Monday or a Friday, just in case.
because it is still the summer,
Huh?
because it still is the summer.
Yes, and I know that I have to go to New Jersey one of those weekends.
And
That-
school starts,
I turn 60 and I have to go
The
down there
24th.
and face it.
School starts on the
school
24th.
starts the 24th for the teachers, the 25th and 26th
That
for all
is
of us.
early.
When do the kids come back?
The kids come back,
It's normally on
the kids come back
the 29th.
29th.
They must be the 29th. I was gonna say school tends to start
I
on my
hate
birthday.
it.
which is the
I
28th.
don't care what the rest of the state does, I hate that.
we should go back after.
I mean-
Remember when school used to start after Labor Day?
Well,
Yeah.
And you know,
They did
Yeah,
it
the
a couple
kids
of
were
times,
just
and
as-
then they went back to
Kids
starting
were
in
just as
August.
smart then.
The superintendent feels that he has to follow
Regional
the
calendar.
state
So most days
calendar.
you have to be at for days and the rest of them aren't schools.
No,
Yeah.
that's what he said.
That's bogus and we need to change
Used to be
that.
open.
When is Battle Day
Right
weekend?
now.
Battle Day,
So what date are they saying? It's wait
The
for Monday.
Battle Day will be the 20th or 13th.
is the actual battle
What
day.
what dates are,
Tuesday on a what?
So Battle Day is the 12th, 13th, and 14th,
Is it a Saturday?
Yeah.
Battle Day weekend.
I don't
oh,
remember.
you guys get a weekend down here?
All I know is we get Bennington Battle Day off and I always forget it.
That's,
So nobody
only the
reminds me.
16th or the
We have our
23rd?
choice back then.
What was it?
They don't want to do
School
it.
is back, don't teachers come back for something on
on the 24th.
So-
they
The
come back.
24th, the teachers are back.
the?
What's your favorite day in August?
The 16th or the 23rd, is that what we're looking at, a Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, the 16th or 23rd.
Does that work for everyone?
I think.
Work for
Yeah,
me.
you all-
School on this day.
Yeah, it works for me. I'd rather schedule,
And
why
and
can't we do the
everybody,
week of the 9th?
We
I
can.
don't, I don't,
that's too, that would be too soon, I would think, but if you have to meet
Is that
the
too
night,
soon?
it just,
Because school starts a
Yeah.
couple weeks after that, so maybe we wanna get,
Started,
You-
sure.
you want
Do you
to
wanna do it
meet
the
sooner, you mean?
do you
I'm
want to?
saying I don't see where that week of the 9th is that soon.
It's not.
You wanna
It's
do
just
the,
soon after your
2
July
months out.
break.
Right, it's just breaking
But
this,
then you don't have any much more time. for
yeah, it's just
school.
trying to get you to
Yeah.
go
Do
longer
you wanna
without
try
having
it
to
to the
worry about
ninth?
school, so,
Yeah.
that's all.
you want, are we talking about the 8th or the 9th?
Well, they said no Monday, so we're talking about the 9th
No,
or the
Mon- they
10th.
don't want Mondays or Fridays.
How about the 9th?
August 9th?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's
Do it
good.
earlier? Or
Yeah,
What
what
time?
No,
How about the 2nd?
Well, no, I
I
think-
don't care.
No, we're
They're-
talking about time.
Right now,
They're
it's
talking,
open.
they're talking about time, except that we've got some people who do have,
Okay.
who do work,
The
right.
9th is out, we have a conflict.
Oh, you have, you
What-
can't
what-
do the 9th, okay.
Can you do the 10th?
Yes. Okay, the
Do you
10th.
want to try the 10th on a Wednesday? Does that work?
Let me check that.
Does that work?
Sure.
it's fine.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
10th
it
works?
Follows the following week, but we're okay on the 10th.
Oh, am I hitting somebody's
Oh, my
meeting?
nursing home job, I let them know when I work.
So Wednesday.
So that's fine, because I'm pretty.
Wednesday is the
The
10th.
2nd, so that's.
Okay, so
that's
August 10th,
what time?
That's
And what's a good
Shasbury
time?
meeting.
Oh, wait, that's the Shasta.
that's not a good time.
I
Why
apologize.
don't we do it during, can we do it during the day?
If we did it 3 to, and I could be excused by 5, then, or 6.
Or we could.
Jackie,
Why
you
can't
have a
we
job?
meet
We could do
earlier?
it that day. Let's do it.
Jackie, what do you think?
I'll get out.
August
August
10th.
10th.
at 3?
Heck, Holly, the last time we did it back to back, remember?
What time?
3 o'clock?
Well, because we're in the mode, might as well
Can't do
keep
three.
it.
3:30?
3:30?
Can't do it during
I
the
feel
day.
like an
I
auctioneer. We need an
Yeah, me
auctioneer.
too.
Yeah, 40 hours with a 91-year-old.
August, August 10th at 3:30,
Great.
Okay.
right here,
August
Yes.
10th at
CDC
3:30.
Assembly Room.
Might be hot, so we'll need the air.
Okay, that sounds,
No, I
Okay.
meant the weather.
Can
The
you,
weather.
can you wear shorts?
We can be going.
The school
I will
district
be
will
comfortable.
provide the Kool-Aid. That'll be human resources, right?
that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
You know what?
I know what kind of Kool-Aid.
Even
Okay.
I won't drink Kool-Aid.
So we'll go to 6 o'clock again.
Or 5. Yeah, she may need to be excused at 5.
Okay.
But, or 5.
Okay, so we're set for August 10th,
August 10th,
3:30
3:30
here.
here.
Do we want to
Is
set?
that,
3:30 here.
Do you
That
wanna
sounds
do
good.
another
More than
one?
one meeting?
what's that?
Do you want to set more than one meeting?
Yes.
I
Well,
would,
right
if you
now,
want.
until we.
You want to try to set a second meeting?
I would like to have one in place, because I know there'll be more we're gonna discuss.
Good plan. We probably won't settle with one meeting.
Okay.
No,
Let's go back
no.
to Tuesday then.
Can we go back to the 23rd
Yeah.
Of August.
of August?
Yeah.
And can we do that at 4 PM?
23rd,
Sure.
4 PM.
So that we don't have a board member taking off multiple days, multiple
How's that?
hours?
4 o'clock, yeah.
Okay, so we have the 10th
10th?
at 3:30 and
Yeah.
the 23rd at 4.
At 4, at CDC.
Yep.
Everybody's happy,
There
right?
shouldn't be a problem with
All
that
right.
being in here.
Okay, is that good?
Sure.
It is good.
It
All
is.
right, well,
Okay, well,
Well, you have some official work to do.
Sure,
he
I
has
do.
to end the
And
meeting.
then we have to shake hands and
Right.
hug and kiss and we can go.
So.
And you're taking us out to
I'm
dinner?
not kissing you.
I-
No, not that.
Well, it-
Yeah, he is.
it's just that, you know, it's great that everybody was able to come together, you know, for the public and to let them know that we all came together and got an agreement that we both can live with. for a year's extension out here. And I'm really pleased with the efforts that we made in order to do that. And I know that we got lots of work ahead of us, and those things that we say are associated with the contract and that the administration and so forth of the association, we're gonna solve those problems because we're gonna work those out and make sure that the issues that are a concern to us are gonna be paperwork solved out here. So the next time we come back negotiating, we'll be able to move a lot faster than what we are now
We will.
in terms of a year.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
So I like to have a motion that we.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Cut you right off.
Move the second.
Can
All
we
in
vote?
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
You guys can vote as well.